Welcome to the 7 top tips to help you right now to support you and your team during such unprecedented times. Times like this, life can be really challenging. Without a minute's notice, everything is turned upside down. And as a manager, not only are you trying to navigate this yourself, you've got the pressure of looking after your team as well. And we get it. That can be really tough. These are our 7 top tips to support you and your team during times like this. What does it mean to be a good manager? Well, it requires having a good understanding of yourself and attempting to also understand your staff and support them through challenges, empower them, and if you can't manage this on your own, directing them to the right resources to get the right help. So let's take a look at our first tip. Number 1, radical acceptance. So many of us, when we deal with difficult emotions, tend to push them away, judge ourselves, or criticize others for provoking these emotions in us. If we consistently deal with our emotions in these ways, then we are at risk of becoming overwhelmed. Give yourself a chance to deal with the situation without blame, anger, or accusations. By paying attention in that particular moment, you will be able to focus on your options and identify potential solutions without intensifying your pain. For example, if you missed your Zoom meeting this morning or you were late for your meeting, instead of blaming your children who didn't cooperate, you can redirect your attention to what you can do about the situation. Talk to your manager, explain the situation, and reschedule the meeting. If you are the manager and your staff has made a mistake, encourage them to focus on a solution-finding approach rather than focusing on excuses and justification. It already happened. It's in the past. We can't change the past. So what have we learnt from the situation? It might be a good idea to come up with your own powerful statements to help yourself deal with difficult feelings and emotions as they arise. For example, well, it's all over now. It is in the past now. And so forth. Number 2, empower yourself the right way. 1. Acknowledge the problem and start using critical thinking to better help yourself deal with this situation moving forward. Yes, something happened, i.e. COVID-19, and it turned your life upside down. What do you need to do now to help yourself? If you lost your job or are being stood down, do you need to write all your expenses down and call your bank, your car lease services, etc.? 2. Accept the thoughts and feelings and consider a compassionate step towards a resolution. These are unprecedented times, and as you experience adjustment and challenges, you might experience sadness, anger, and frustration. Don't deny, suppress, or battle them. Accept the feelings and thoughts and use compassion and mindfulness as you consider the next step to help yourself to deal with this challenging situation. 3. Use appropriate calming techniques and strategies. If you give in to panic and fear, you will soon find yourself being overwhelmed and frustrated and unable to concentrate on what you need to do to improve your situation. Use mindfulness, meditation, and body scans, as well as positive creative techniques and strategies to improve your concentration and focus. Number 3. Learn to cope better. 1. Be proactive. People who are better at coping with adversity are proactive doers and problem solvers. You know yourself better than anyone, so can you predict when you might struggle? What do you think you need to do to prepare better for future challenges? 2. Be curious. What can you learn about the situation or yourself? What is a creative solution to your problem? 3. Acknowledge the problem exists. Do not dismiss or avoid an issue. Acknowledge the problem and use critical thinking to approach it. 4. Be disciplined. Create a routine, structure, and show up. Set a goal. Remind yourself that you can achieve it and why it is important for you to do it. 5. Acknowledge your emotional needs. Do you need to feel secure, safe, and hopeful? Don't just push the emotions aside or pretend they aren't important. We often push away what we consider to be bad or negative emotions and mainly welcome positive ones. Emotions help us to better understand where we are and if our needs are being met, or if something is happening in our environment that is not helpful or supportive. 6. Be in control of your impulses. Think about your actions and their consequences. No matter how difficult something is, it will eventually pass. But our actions can do lifelong damage to ourselves and others. 7. Reflect on your values and take steps towards a better and more meaningful life. What kind of person do you want to be? Reflect and decide on what is important to you. Take steps towards becoming the person you want to be. Number 4. Resilience. Look at the way you build resilience. Resilience is not static, but rather dynamic. Sometimes we can be very low, our resilience almost exhausted, and sometimes we can work on strengthening it. So what can you do? Make sure that your self-care is always a priority. Get enough sleep and exercise, and learn to manage stress. Practice thought awareness. Change the way that you think about negative situations and bad events. Embrace change. For example, when the whole world turns upside down during the time of lockdowns and social isolation, some people are still running marathons in their apartments. Learn from your mistakes and failures. Do you need to change something next time? Do you need someone's support next time? Choose your response. Respond, don't react. Our poorly thought through reactions often lead to negative consequences. Maintain perspective. How else can you look at this situation? Get plenty of rest. This one is very important. If we don't rest well, we tend to procrastinate, binge eat, become more frustrated. So if you are tired and want to sleep, then sleep. Number 5. Avoid being too critical and demanding. Has anyone ever told you, "I feel criticized by you," or "You are so judgmental," and you have no idea why they said that? Did you feel judged and misunderstood in the moment and felt that such feedback was unreasonable and hurtful? Well, if this happens rather frequently, you may be making this common mistake: confusing your observation with evaluation. Start paying attention to how you speak. Do you often use observation with evaluation or simply observation? For example, would you say Sarah doesn't care about her job, which is observation plus evaluation, versus Sarah has stated that she felt unmotivated lately, which is observation minus evaluation? Do you say Jane wastes her time, or Jane worked 2 hours on her report and then realized she didn't have to do it? Dropping evaluations will go a long way in improving your relationships, not only with your colleagues, but with your friends and family members as well. Number 6. Self-compassion. It is particularly helpful to use self-compassion when we make a mistake or feel disappointed with our decisions. Usually, many of us are tempted to be angry and overly critical of ourselves and others when something goes wrong. Compassion will help us to get back on track and achieve our goals. Often, people confuse self-pity and self-compassion. I want you to be clear that self-pity gets you off the hook and says that you don't need to do anything better because you are a victim of your circumstances. However, self-compassion means treating ourselves with the same concern, kindness, and respect as we would a friend. If we are honest, most of us would agree that there are times when we have not treated ourselves as we would a friend. Number 7. Visualize. To use visualization techniques effectively, we need to follow some simple rules. Start by creating space and allowing enough time. As with many other techniques that help you to relax, plan around potential interruptions to your visualization. Focus on your breathing to gain the most from your visualization. Start by gently bringing your attention to your body and checking how your body feels in the moment. You might like to conduct a body scan. Start by paying attention to your breathing. Visualize in the first person. Make sure that your experience is in the first person, rather than observing yourself from afar, such as seeing yourself floating. Be realistic and slightly optimistic. It might be helpful for you to start with goals that are more immediate rather than far removed. For example, start focusing right now on delivering a successful presentation, and later on visualize yourself becoming a CEO of a company. Engage all your senses. It is important to engage all your senses when you visualize confidence. It will involve what you see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. What does confidence sound like? Is it "Can't Stop Me Now" by Queen? Or maybe it sounds like your boss praising you for a job well done. What does it look like? Do you see people listening attentively to your presentation and giving you positive feedback and perhaps asking you for your advice? What does confidence feel like when you touch it? So, let's have a quick recap. You can help yourself and your staff by practicing radical acceptance. Yes, something happened. How can we not dwell but learn from it and move on? Learn the right way to empower yourself and your staff and learn to cope better. Focus on the 7 strategies discussed earlier. If you don't feel very strong and resilient, work on it and encourage your staff to work on it as well. And now is not the time to be overly critical. Just say what you observe without evaluating or making assumptions. Practice self-compassion and visualization. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, you need to look after yourself well if you want to provide good support to your staff. And of course, don't forget, it's not only about work. Always give yourself a chance to spend good, quality time with the people you love, your pets, and doing hobbies you love. Every day, try to create a bit of space for yourself and do something soul-nourishing. Just before I say goodbye, please visit our website, impulsivity.com.au. We have there a number of courses developed especially for people who would like to improve their productivity, address unhelpful habits, improve self-control, and their relationships. Thank you for your time. Stay safe and healthy, and look after yourself.